On this edition of Critter Chat, we're going to go to a rat adoption fair and meet Barbara Henderson, an author and rat lover who's also a volunteer for this event. Barbara told us about her first introduction to rats and where that led.
I always thought it was kind of cool watching them in the pet stores, and finally I broke down and got one, and I had no idea what I had. And a few months later I found out this rat was so special. I thought it was absolutely an amazing miracle to have something so able to bond with a human being. We liked the same foods, we liked the same music. The rat was just an amazing, loving, interactive creature. And I've known humans with less personality, lots. But this rat was just amazing. And I had no idea what kind of a treasure I had. And when I found out, it was just like, well, I was hooked on rats at that point. And from that point on, every rat I ever knew was very different from that individual, but very special and very sweet. And I've never known a rat I couldn't love. And it just takes a few minutes, and they're just bonded to you. And they're such smart animals. Our friend, the rat lady, who's Debbie Dukeman, she's the head of the Rat Fan Club, and Rats, one of the nonprofit organizations for the benefit of rats. She says that a rat is smarter than the dumbest dog, and definitely, one of the smarter animals that we know. And rats are much nicer than anything like, lots of children have hamsters, but I would definitely recommend a rat instead of a hamster as a pet.
So Barbara, tell me about some of the people at today's event.
Well, we all have sort of a Northern California rat community, NCRC, and it's a group of people in Northern California that have certain aims for rats. There's a crafty rat lady who makes all of their supplies, and there's Ratty Rats who rescues rats from here to Southern California and all over, who needs homes and are in desperate situations. And once you have a rat, you want to be in connection with other rat owners. And what I was saying about getting one rat, I just got one rat to begin with. I had no idea that she would be lonely the rest of her life, because rats are awake all night. They're nocturnal animals. And if they don't have a cage mate, someone to be with all night, then you're sleeping, probably, if you're a normal human being. So the best thing is to get two rats, and that's what our visitor over here is doing. She thought she would go home with one rat, but I talked her into getting another one because I feel sorry for them being all alone at night. And they have more fun, and it seems like they live longer and happier if they have mates. I had a mother over there who had 7 of her own babies and 2 that she adopted from a mother that tossed a few of hers out. And she took those babies and raised them, and the last one of them was a girl, one of the adopted ones. And I adopted the mother and the daughter, the adopted daughter, out together. So that was really a great moment, because I really have enough rats. So, it's sort of, they're kind of addictive in that you want to have rats all the time. You don't want to be without a rat. After you lose your first one, and the only bad thing about a rat is that their lifespan is only 2 to 3 years. But in that time, you get to know a really special creature. And I have this tremendous faith that God's going to sort it all out, and we're going to have them in heaven, every single one of them. And because they are all individuals. All animals are different. It's not a pack of rats. It's a bunch of individual creatures with their own little preferences, their own little desires, and they're all different. I was talking about rats as opposed to, or being different from gerbils and hamsters and creatures like that. The thing about hamsters is that they sleep all day. They're nocturnal, and when you wake them up, they're kind of mean about it, and hamsters do bite. Whereas a rat, once they know you and have been introduced to you, would never offer to bite you in any way. They're very social animals. They like people. you'll find that all through history, wherever humans are, rats are right there beside them. And it's not just that it's our refuse and the fact that we eat the same exact foods. They're omnivores. They eat absolutely everything. They love a person diet. So they like to live close to people, and that's their necessary food. So it's no wonder that rats are wherever people go, and that's probably one of their bad raps. But rats are more like people in that they also have their own individual personalities, and they're very friendly toward people. They're also, unlike hamsters, who can be grouchy and bite, and they kind of stink, and you can't get two males to live together if they're hamsters, usually in the same cage. They'll be constantly fighting and trying to kill each other. But rats can be introduced because they're much more social animals than most. They're just very loving with each other, loving with people.
My guest on this edition of Critter Chat has been Barbara Henderson, an author and rat lover from Sacramento, California. Thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Raleigh Adams.